welcome back to the horror show. I'm Marcia Parker.
And I'm Susie and today we are doing Lifechanger, which was our poll winner this month for our Patrons. So, Marcia, why don't you tell everyone about the movie Lifechanger?
Alright, so Lifechanger was an interesting film. It was a little slow at first, but you just kind of have to stick with it. You're following this creature around, so you don't... It's kind of reminds me of Denzel Washington in Fallen, where you're like listening to this monologue the whole time of someone kind of explaining what you're watching. So it starts out with a couple hanging out, and and he's and she's like, oh, you don't know, I don't know. He's arguing with her because she disappeared for like 3 days. She comes back. She's all like, bro, whatever, like, step off. And he's like, well, I called the cops. And they're arguing. And next thing you know, she touches him. And he's, like, convulsing. And she switches bodies. And we're like, Skinwalker. Here we go. So that was really fun. And you learn quickly that the Skinwalker, usually the body lasts for long periods of time, so he can usually take his time to pick his victims, but right now their bodies are decaying at a faster pace than normal.
And even more so with cocaine.
And, yeah. Yep. So he has to move, like, from body to body a lot faster. And on top of that, one of his victims did have a relationship with a woman, and he grew really attached to her, and he felt connected to her. So every time he would change bodies, he would go to this bar where she would frequent every night, sit next to her, and like have a conversation. He tries to mate with her a couple of times, didn't always pan out. And he's just like, okay, I gotta figure this out. So you're just following a story, along, seeing where it's gonna take you. And it takes you somewhere that I was not expecting at the end. I was kind of like, okay, that got weird.
The ending, I was shocked. I wasn't expecting that at all, the ending. Yeah. So, but I mean, the movie took off quickly. Mm-hmm. Like, it was slow.
Like, it felt slow, but it moved quickly.
I think it's because you didn't know exactly what was going on. Yeah. So it's just,
the story was moving quickly, but it was filmed at a slow pace.
Right.
And edited in a slower pace, if that makes sense.
You'd have to see it.
Yeah. But what did you think, Susie? What did you think overall?
Overall, I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't so happy with the ending. I guess I wanted a bit more of an explanation. But overall, I could see myself hating this movie, but I didn't, because I like the idea. It was different than anything that I've really seen done before. Mm-hmm. And it kind of touched on, almost like with vampires, people like come and go in their lives, and obviously this is something completely different, but the creature, he had one person, and trying to create these relationships over and over, and like with the different people that he becomes, he inherits their memories, and so there's the point where, he becomes a dentist and he has to do like a filling or something, and he already knows how to do it, which is crazy. Right. Yeah, so it's crazy.
This isn't the first time I've had to be a dentist.
So
yikes.
It's crazy to think, like, how, he even said, how did this happen? Like,
he has no way of knowing. He doesn't remember he remembers taking his mom, and that was like the first thing. And at first I didn't know what he meant by that, and I was kind of like, weird word choice. How is this gonna play out? But I thought it was really interesting, and I didn't think I was gonna like it either, to be honest. So I started watching it, and I got like a half an hour in, and then I had to go back to it later, and I did like focus in on it, and just like tried to let it happen and figure out what was going on. And I thought it was an interesting perspective of what a life would be like as a Skinwalker.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's crazy. I loved how, like, almost simple it was, that it could happen. It could be happening,
like,
to
how
people
do you
right now
deal with that? It's like, okay, well, I have to live my life now as this person, and I got to make sure that they're not missed, and I got to make sure people aren't looking for me.
And obviously he's had numerous experiences, and it's very routine for him. But yeah, to see that, it was just like kind of glimpse into it, and that person, when things kind of start to come to a head with everything, and it's just like, how do you deal with that? How do the people in your lives deal with that? Because again, like you said, there's only a certain amount of time, but the body rots. So what do you do with that time? Because it is all about survival again. So
yeah, it's like nothing's personal, just here to survive. And that's why it really gave me that Fallen vibe, not just because of the monologue and the inner monologue and all of that, but just because of that's the way the story's written. Like, you're following this creature around and seeing how it affects other people and what it means and the chain reaction of things, and whether he means to do it or not. So I don't know. It's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
It's very deep.
Yeah, it's very worth a watch.
How simple it is.
Yeah, but it is. It's very. I could see that happening, and no one would ever know because it's how they do, and cleanup is cleanup, and So
what did you think about the way it was shot and the way it was filmed? Do you like the production value of it? Do you think it could have gotten better?
No, I liked it. I think it was done well for what it was. I don't think it was meant to be anything like super crazy spectacular, obviously.
Yeah.
But for what it was, I think it met the standards.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think the real winner behind like the writing and everything too was the actual effect. So when he would be switching bodies, and even after he switched bodies, and you had the practical, like the mannequin of, or I don't know if they were mannequins or if they actually did a full body, because it's like full body transformations for the people that he kills, because he like drains them of their essence, and they look mummified. Which looked really, really cool. Yeah. I thought the makeup was amazing. And so I wasn't sure, like, is this actual makeup, or did they make an actual, like, a creature? Like, I'm not sure what they did, but it was really, really, really cool. I thought that part was what stole the show for me.
And with that, it wasn't over the top, like, super gory. It had its purpose. It was like, okay, that is really fucking intense, but, it's simple, but it was a powerful, it was visually stunning how it was, so.
And that kind of goes into the acting, too, because there was a lot of makeup design behind it, but it wouldn't have worked without the compellingness of the acting behind it, because it looked painful, and it looked authentic and genuine, and how they reacted when he would be like consuming them, and also his reaction when he was going through the transformation too.
Yeah, which is crazy, because you got to think about, even though he's transitioning through all of these people, but all of these actors, I think, did an amazing job, because you don't skip a beat. Like, you're in it. With each passing actor, you don't see a difference. You still see that soul person that is passing through each body.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's still that, even though it's different people, and in real life, you got to think about that. All those actors, they must have really come together, like the mannerisms of this person, and the way they speak, and blinking, and everything else. Right. So I think the acting was done really, really well, and especially for the female interest in this, when things started coming to a head, I think she did phenomenal. I think in any situation like that, I think she responded how any of us would in a situation like that. So I was very happy with it.
Yeah, and you bring up a really good point, because I saw the difference in the actings and stuff, but then you have to think about each person comes into the story and they're their own person, and then all of a sudden they have to flip and act like they are the main character, portraying themselves as that person with the memories and the knowledge and everything behind it. So that's gotta be a fun acting exercise. Yeah, you have to play yourself as this person playing you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. Yeah. So I think it was fun. I really dug this movie. It was definitely a sleeper for me. I was not even on my like you know, those like sleeper winners. Like you're like, okay, this was not on my radar. I read the bio, I read the synopsis. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be whatever. I'm not expecting much for this, and then all of a sudden, it hit a home run, and I'm like, wow. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
That movie, Your Serial Killer, with Kristopher Lloyd. Mm-hmm. It reminded me a lot like that, kind of that rawness and like the acting, and so yeah, it's off the top of my head. So if you like that movie, it's shot very similar in similar ways. The production value on this movie on Lifechanger is a bit more, but obviously, you know, well, you'll see when you see the movie.
And yeah, it's on Netflix right now too. So that's really super convenient for everyone to watch it.
Yeah, I am pretty surprised that it's not talked about more. It is a really good movie. Yeah. So
yeah, they're getting a pretty good catalog when it comes into the horror, and they've always had a pretty good one. But this one was good. This is worth watching. So go watch it.
Yes.
Come back. Tell us we're right in the comments, and then become a Patreon and tell us more movies that we can watch that are going to be as amazing. Or if you want to torture us with some movies you don't,
which you fucking don't.
You don't want to do that.
Don't give them ideas. What are you doing?
I know. You just want to go ahead and become a Patreon, because we have really, really cool things that go on our Patreon page, and we do really fun things. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, thank you for voting for this movie. Our lovely Patreon members that are here already.
Yay!
And, we truly, truly appreciate you. We do. And so if you want to keep watching more things of our show, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Ring the bell. And definitely comment, because we love chatting with you guys.
Oh, yes. Love the comments.
We love
it. Favorite.
Love it. Love it. And we love you.
Yes.
And thank you so much for watching the horror show. I have been Marcia Parker.
I have been Susie Von Slaughter.
And remember, stay scared.